Hey, it's Sam. Today we're going to go over exactly how you can set yourself up in your 20s to be financially wealthy and independent starting now. I'm nearing the end of my 20s and I want to go over everything that I've done so far in order to secure my own financial independence. No, I'm not some super rich guy that's going to start retiring at the age of 35. However, I've done very well for myself and I'm going to go over everything that I invest in, that I continue to invest in, and I really believe in. Retiring at 35 does sound very tempting though, so maybe I'll make it a stretch goal. But right now I am financially independent and I want to go over everything that I've done. So I came across each of these ideas from various books that I've read, professors that I've taken classes from, and especially my parents. I've been bombarded with ideas on how to become financially independent. So I want to strip out all of the bad and just show you the good advice that I've received over the past decade or so. Today we're only going over ways that have helped me personally. The first step that I suggest that you take, especially if you're young, is to invest everything that you possibly can, starting today. Now the reason for this is compound interest, which I've talked about in other videos, but I'm going to go into more detail right now. I started learning about compound interest at a very young age, probably like 6 years old, when my parents opened up my first bank account. It was actually a CD, and I put $100 in, and every month I would get a bank statement saying exactly how much interest I made for that month. No, I wasn't making a ton of money on that $100 investment, but it did increase every single month, and I became kind of obsessed with this idea of getting free money. So because I got hooked, I started putting everything that I possibly could in there. Like, I would get a $20 bill in my birthday card. I'd put it right in the bank. Or I'd get my $5 allowance, straight in the bank again. I'd find a quarter on the street. No lie, that would go into the bank too. I just loved seeing that bank account grow. I loved the interest I was making. Now, here's an example of why compound interest is so important. Say you are 20 years old and you invest $100 and it makes an average return of about 7% for 45 years, which is completely realistic. When you're 65, that $100 would now be worth $2,100. That kind of paints the picture here. This is the power of compounding. Now, say that you're putting that $100 into the bank every single month, starting when you're 20. When you're 65, after a 7% return year after year, that account will now be worth $369,000. Long story short, make sure you're taking care of your future self by investing everything you can right now. Now, where exactly do you put this money? So I suggest that you open a Roth IRA and start putting everything that you can into it. If you're young, I'm assuming that you're not making a ton of money, which means that you're in a low tax bracket, which is great because you're paying very little tax on every dollar that you make. When you are 59 and a half years old, you can start pulling money out of your Roth IRA without paying tax on it or additional tax on it. That $100 that you put in as a 20-year-old is actually going to be worth $2,100 when you're 65 and you start pulling that out. The more money that you start putting in earlier, the more money that you're going to have later. Much, much more money. Because of the power of compound interest, every dollar of income that you make right now is worth way more today than it will be in the future. So here's kind of an example of how that works. We already established that if you put $100 in right now at 20 years old, when you're 65, it's going to be worth $2,100, right? What if you waited until you were 30? If you wait until you're 30 and you invest that same $100, at 65, it's only going to be worth about $1,067. Now, if you wait until you're 40 years old to invest that 100, it would only be worth about $542. The difference there between investing when you're 20 and when you're 40 is going to be $1,500, and that's only for a $100 investment. Imagine if you actually started investing in this every single month. So if this idea doesn't get you motivated to go out and start investing really, really early, there's nothing that's going to. If you're not married, you don't have any kids, you don't have a mortgage, start living like you are completely broke. Stop going out to eat all the time. Stop spending money on cable. Stop buying so many new clothes and just save as much as you can and just invest it. When you're really young, no one expects you to be living a certain lifestyle. They expect you to kind of be broke. So stop trying to keep up with the Joneses and stop just trying to impress people that don't really matter and just save all that money. Ideally, you should be able to save 20% of your income. I know that you think that this isn't possible, and that's fine. You need to go to the library, pick up the book, The Richest Man in Babylon, and you'll get a better understanding as people increase the amount of money that they make, they increase the amount that they spend. Everyone's going to keep spending until they're pretty much living paycheck to paycheck. So say that you're making $20,000 in annual salary right now, and you're living paycheck to paycheck. When you're making $100,000 in salary, you're still going to continue to live paycheck to paycheck just because of your mindset. So you need to get comfortable with saving a large percentage of that income and just live on the remainder. Now, some specific investment options, I know that you guys like specifics, is just look at some different index funds. They are broad and diverse and have a great rate of return. If you're wondering how to find these index funds, just Google Vanguard index funds, and there will be a whole list of different options for you to start investing in. Buy these with any trading app that you're currently using. You can usually get these for like a $5 trade. Now, when you buy them, just hold them. There are going to be times when the market dips and you start getting uncomfortable. You start seeing that you've lost a little money over the past month or even over the 6 months or a year. But you need to hold tight because you are in this for the long run, okay? So you're not in it for short-term gains or anything. And remember, you're not going to lose anything unless you decide to sell for a loss. So hold tight and just stay steady for the long run and see that continue to increase. Something else you may want to consider investing in is silver. Yes, physical silver. So humans have been using precious metals as commodities for thousands of years for good reason. It will always have value, and right now it's at a very low price, so I think around $17 an ounce. So it's definitely something to consider in order to help you diversify your portfolio that you're starting to build. Now, since you are young, I also suggest investing in yourself. Get a library card, start watching some lynda.com courses, and also watch some educational YouTube videos. Yes, educational. Stop watching so many videos that are like joke vlog type stuff and start looking at different YouTube channels like mine or others out there that are teaching you how to become wealthy or teaching you some kind of course like coding or how to do economic analysis or any type of educational video like that. There are thousands of them out there. Since you're young, you definitely want to find out what your actual interests are and become an expert in that field. Trust me, if you're single and you don't have kids right now, you're never going to have as much free time as you do right now. So it's your job to use that time very, very, very wisely. You won't realize how much free time you actually have right now until it's all gone. So with that said, please leave a comment, please like the video, and subscribe to the channel. This would help me out so much and would help others have a chance at seeing this video as well. Once again, I appreciate your time. Until next time.